not Delaney, that's Thomas. Working up the middle, working out left side. He gets about 4, and we'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
I thought we had that cured.
I thought we did, but Johnny making plays tonight, I guess, just brought him to mind. 3rd down and 5 coming up as the Bearcats are up to the 45-yard line. Have to reach the 50 to get the first.
Really need a first down here. Need to keep this drive going.
They bring Ratcliffe in as the H-back, at least for now. They might motion him back to the backfield. 6.5 to go here in the 4th. 14-7, Cats leading. They hand off to Thomas, and he cuts up off of the block, and he's got the first down, but we do have Laundry on the field. Ratcliffe is down as well, a little slow to get up.
It's maybe a chop block here on Virginia High. Let's see. Nope, still just a holding penalty.
So
for
another
the 4th
hold.
time tonight.
So another big penalty. And what was a 3rd down and 5 that was converted on a 7-yard run will be a replay of this down, and it will be 3rd down and 10 or more.
They're going to be 3rd and 15. They're going to go all the way back.
Coach Christ is fired up along the sideline.
If anything, I thought it might have been a low block. I didn't really see a hold there, but
they're having to hold Chris back on the sideline. He's fired up down there about something.
Well, I believe he's like the rest of us. Where exactly was the holding?
I'm not used to seeing Coach Chris get that fired up, but it's 3rd down and 15.
And only 4 flags tonight, and all 4 on Virginia High for holding penalties.
From their own 35-yard line. High snap. They'll try to get it out wide to Thomas, and he'll run out of room as he's dropped back at the 30-yard line.
Going to lose 5 more yards there. So this offense has just gone backwards this whole second half.
Well, partly intended, but even after that 3rd down conversion and that holding call, it just deflates you as an offense.
But you got to be more disciplined and more, you can't let the little things like that derail you. And we've seen that all year. Just, if you get behind the sticks, they just can't operate. And now you're in a critical time in a big game. You got to be able to make something happen.
5:30 left on the clock as it's running. Ratcliffe will try to get the punt off, and he will. It's a low one. Take a Virginia High bounce inside the 40 and be downed at around the 35-yard line. So Richlands will start at the 35 with 2 timeouts, 5 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the ball game, trailing 14-7 to the Virginia High Bearcats, who are trying to make a little bit of history tonight, becoming the first Bearcat team since 1999 to defeat the Blue Tornado. It's been a long time for the Bearcats, and Coach Christ would get his first win against Richlands as well. But a lot to be decided. 7-point game, 5:15 to go here in the 4th quarter, and we wanted a good game for senior night, and we are getting all of it and more. And this is a Richlands offense that has seen new life here in the second half. They've been moving the ball well basically all game, but turnovers are really hampering them. They throw underneath, another interception. Torian Bizel off of the deflection gets a pick, and what a play there. Knocked it up in the air, stayed up with it. It was bobbling around as he went down, but he was able to get his hands under it for the interception. 5:10 to go, 1 play in, and another interception by the Cats. That's 4 turnovers now on the night for Richlands.
Incredible.
Bizel,
he just kind of swatted the ball up to himself, able to catch it on his way down to the ground. Big turnover. Cats in business. 1st and 10, 40-yard line, Richlands side of the field.
And Bizel's 4th interception of the year. They go up the middle with Thomas. Lost a yard on the play.
Incredibly predictable, however, in the second half. The Cats been on offense.
So a chance here to run clock, though, if you're the Bearcats, regardless of the way this second half has been offensively, and it's been painful to watch at times.
You just love to get some points right here and make it a 2-score ball game.
4:30 on the clock. They put Thomas in motion. They'll hand off Rose up the middle. He lowers his shoulder, but he's wrapped up. Got maybe a half a yard up, or got a yard maybe, and another half in positive side. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 10. gets interesting here because the way the defense is playing, of course, turnovers happening. They're not always going to happen, but how are you going to run it here? You're going to go outside. You're going to run it. You're going to trust your senior quarterback to make a play.
He hasn't. Decision making has been a little bit questionable at times. I mean, he's had some good plays tonight too.
3rd down and 10. They'll go screen play right, left side. Wright makes the play, gets up to the 40. When they have passed it, they've kept it with that play. They did do the wheel route one time with Thomas, but the clock will run after the completion. And there you do risk, the incompletion happening. But that time they got it completed, and the clock will run another 30 seconds or so off.
Yeah, chance to at least pin Richlands down really deep in their own territory here. Of course, they've got a good returner back there in Sage Webb.
Yeah, the freshman return man for the Blue Tornado. Richlands going to get the football back with about 3 minutes.
Still 2
left.
Timeouts.
And Coach Chris there doing all the signals here to get everybody ready for this snap. Decent snap. The punt is a bad punt. It hits.
That is a negative 1 yard punt.
Yeah, Ratcliffe, it just hit off the top. He hit it off the bottom of the football. And like Travis said, negative 1 yard on the punt as Torian, being a good teammate there, running out to join, to tap him on the shoulder and say, we got you here, buddy. But definitely an opportunity there for the Cats to swing the field position. And somehow the punt goes negative yards. So that just shows how the second half has been for the Cats. But I think all that pressure that Richland's been getting on the football, and Ratcliffe's not the quickest getting the punts off.
Ouch.
Tough break, but Richlands with a lucky break. 2:50 on the clock, 2 timeouts, and they're starting at the 42-yard line. 1st down and 10. Moore throws out wide, complete along the sideline. Staying up and breaking loose down the sideline is Jacob Cole, and he's got a touchdown. They didn't wrap him up, and he's in. An extra point away from tying it are the Blue Tornado. They had him corralled along the sideline. I think they expected him to go out of bounds. Nobody wrapped him up. And a touchdown.
Well, you knew that was coming. I mean, Richlands has done everything they could to let Virginia High win this football game. Virginia High just refused to take advantage of it. They didn't want it, and that's what you got. Now it's 14-14 all. Well, 14-13 extra point pending.
So Moore to Cole as he broke loose down the sideline for 60 yards with 2:37 to go here in the ball game. Forrest on for the extra point to tie it at 14. Usually reliable. The snap is a bit low. The kick is up, and it is through, and we've got a tie ball game here in Bristol. 14-14 the score. 2:37 to go in the ball game. So you've cut back on everything from lattes to lunches, but if you're still coming up short at the end of the month, try this. Give State Farm agent Barbara Williams in Bristol a call for a discount double check. She'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year, because being there to help keep more of your money in your pocket is why State Farm agent Barbara Williams is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Official stat here from our statistician Kevin Corbett, the big kicker there, junior kicker for Richlands. Levi Forrest officially kicked that ball all the way back to Washington County.
Officially. So he's measured that one out. Now, 2:37 to go, 14-14. We've had a Bearcat offense that has been abysmal here in the second half. Negative yardage has been
the norm.
Big supply. And you got to be careful here of maybe an onside kick, too, by Richlands. Virginia High holding them the first half scoreless, and for Richlands to come back. But I think we're going to continue to go back if this game continues to swing the way it has in Richlands' favor, and they somehow escape with a win in an important game. We're going to go back to that play on second down and goal from the 5-yard line in the third quarter.
I think if you're Richlands, you go ahead and kick it deep here. I mean, Virginia High hasn't shown the ability to move the ball very deep here in the second half, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
State Line Motors kickoff, and it helps even more when you've got a kicker that as reliable as Forrest And he puts it in the end zone, a touchback, and it's Bearcat offense at the 20-yard line. So the senior class, most of these guys are on this offensive side of the football. You want a chance to submit yourself into maybe some Virginia High lore around here. Lead a drive here, 80 yards.
Here's their chance.
Set it up.
They've been given the opportunity here. 2:37 remaining in the football game, 14-14 all. So far in the second half, Virginia High has snapped the ball 23 times. 23 of those have been for 9 negative yards. And I think if you throw the punt in on that, too, you're going to have 10.
Going to go right up the middle with Thomas, and he goes down for a loss of 2 yards. They went with just a run up the gut that time and nothing there. I think if you're going to win this football game, you're going to have to do something you haven't done all year. You're going to have to throw it well. And we've seen Jamie hit a couple of passes. It's been the shorter passes he's done well on. But when he's had a lot of time in the pocket, that's when he's had issues as they try to get the play call in. We've got 2:10 on the clock, and you got to watch out here because you got a team with a great kicker.
Right, yeah. So you don't want to leave them too much clock, but at the same time, you need to take advantage here and try to get down the field and get some points, win this thing.
Thomas runs it up the middle, breaks free off the right side with a stiff arm. Tries to get a block from Bazell. A nice run by Thomas. Ends up getting about 7 yards there and brings up, make it about 6 yards, and it brings up a 3rd down and 6. And Richlands is not going to burn any timeouts right yet.
No, they're going to wait till they have the ball in their control to where they can control the clock and those timeouts.
Both teams with 2 timeouts as we have a crucial 3rd down coming.
And if you're the Cats, what you got to do here is you can't play for overtime. You need to pick up a 1st down. Then you got to start using your timeouts and try to get in the field goal range.
1:18 on a running clock here in the 4th quarter. 14-14 the score between the Cats and the Blue Tornado. Snap back. Lathrop's going to lob one deep and way over the head of anyone. Not sure where Jamie was trying to throw that. Bradley cut off his route short, and it's incomplete. And Coach Belcher and this offense will have to settle for a punt here and give Richlands the ball back with 1:04 to go. I think there's another play that you're going to look back on and say, what happened there?
I think you could look back at this whole second half and just, if Virginia High is not somehow able to pull this football game out, I think you can just use the whole tape of the second half on what not to do.
Yeah, because it's been enforced in the second half.
At least
lucky,
offensively.
Really lucky to have the game even be tied at this point, the way the second half is going. The punt is a good one this time by Ratcliffe. Richlands will field it at the 40-yard line. It is returnable by Sedge Webb, and he's loose up the sideline at the 50-yard line, out of bounds at the 45-yard line. And Richlands on the plus side of things with 51 seconds to go in regulation. Only need a field goal to win it. Tied 14-14. They have a great kicker. Boy, how this game changed in the last 2 minutes or so of game time. You had a 14-7 lead, then a big pass play from 60 yards from Moore to Cole, and then a 3-and-out by the Bearcat offense. And now it's going to be up to the defense to try to get a stop and get this thing into overtime against an offense where Richlands has either been turnover prone or in this second half, boom, they've scored 2 touchdowns. 51 seconds. They're going to keep up the middle. A nice tackle in space by Watkins to bring Moore down.
And we're probably going to see a steady dose of that right here to just try to play your way into field goal range.
The clock stopped there for about 2 seconds or 3 for no reason on a 5-yard game. A home clock, too. 2nd down and 5. Richlands needs about 15 yards to get into field goal range as Moore will keep off to the right side. He's got room to run now, and a blocker in front of him gets it down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Big run there by Moore, and they're being very predictable here. And they've had success running the QB draw. Are you surprised with 2 timeouts that the Bearcat, well, they won't have to here. Well, Richland's going to run to the sideline and get the play call. Are you surprised that Coach Chris doesn't call timeout here?
Yeah, to tell them what to be prepared for. Yeah,
you got 2 timeouts left. You're not going to really be able to use them unless you want to ice him. Because now it's going to come down to that. It looks like 17 seconds to go.
He could have that in the back of his mind is what he wants to do with it.
Well, he did go out of bounds there, so I guess running clock. Richlands did not need to call their timeout, so they just called it in from the sideline.